Welcome! In this series of short videos, we will look at topics common to both the PowerBasic console and Windows compilers. Today, we will look at some more commands that can be used to perform tasks on disk files. Today, we're going to have another look at disk utilities, both in folders and in files. In our previous videos, we have used a function called create a file. The purpose of this function, as you can guess, is to create a file in the folder of our choice. So we will first use it to create a file in the root folder of our executable, and we will call this file textfile.txt. This function will return a true or a false. True if it manages to create the file, and false if it does not. So let's run our application now to create our initial file. And it says our file has been created successfully. If we have a look in the folder, we've now got an empty file called textfile.txt. We're now going to check to see if this source file exists by using the isFile function, which is inbuilt to PowerBasic. isFile will return again either true or false. True if the file does exist, and false if it does not. We're using $path$ to return the path that our executable currently sits in, and we're appending on to the end of that the name of the file we wish to test. If we run our code now, it will tell us that the file has been found, as we suspected it would. There is an equivalent isFolder function inbuilt to PowerBasic, which you can use to test for the presence or not of a folder. Currently in our folder, we have no subfolders or directories. There is an equivalent isFolder function inbuilt to PowerBasic, which operates in the same way as the isFile function. This will return true or false. True if the folder you are testing currently exists, and false if it does not. It takes a single parameter, which is the path and the name of the folder you wish to test for the presence of. If we run our code now, it will tell us that the subfolder currently does not exist. So we're now going to use the mkdir command to create our subfolder. When you're using this command, it's always good to put it in a try-catch block to ensure that should any error occur, you can detect it. So here is our mkdir command, which takes the parameter being the path and the name of the subfolder you wish to create. We're encapsulating this within a try-catch block. It will attempt to execute the mkdir command. Should this fail, it will catch the error and execute the code in the catch section. So with a suitable message to our log, it will tell us whether it has created the subfolder or not. So if we run our application now, it will tell us that the subfolder did not exist, so it created the subfolder. If we have a look in Explorer, we will see that our subfolder has now been created. It is currently completely empty. What we're going to do next is we're going to test for the presence of a file within this subfolder. As we've seen, this subfolder is completely empty. Therefore, no file will be found. If a file did exist within this folder, we want to erase it using the kill command. And as we know the file does not exist, if we attempted to use the kill command on its own, it would error because the file doesn't exist. Therefore, we're going to encapsulate this in a try-catch block as well. We will now attempt to wipe a file in our subfolder. Now this file does not currently exist, therefore the kill command to wipe it would error. And it will drop into this line of code to tell us that the destination file has not been wiped. We're attempting to delete this file first because we're going to copy a file in the next section from the root of our executable into this subfolder. If we run our code now, it will tell us that the destination file has not been wiped, which is entirely expected because at the moment the file does not exist. So next we're going to be using the file copy command. The file copy command is a very useful inbuilt command to PowerBasic to copy a file from one location to another. Again, we're going to be using a try-catch block. The file copy command has two parameters, the first being the source file, what you're copying from, and the second parameter being the destination file, where you're copying to. It's important to remember with the file copy command that wildcards are not supported. It's designed to copy a single file from one location to another. If for some reason the copy fails, we can drop into the catch block. This will give us a message to say that we are unable to copy the file, and any error that occurs will automatically appear in error $. So let's try running that code now to see if we can successfully copy our file from our exe root into the subfolder. And it's telling us that the file has indeed been copied. If we have a look in Explorer, into our subfolder, we'll see that textfile.txt has now been copied into that folder. So what else can we do on files? What other commands exist that might be useful? One thing you may find useful is the attribute commands. We're going to first of all pick up the attribute of the file we have just copied. So we're going to define a local variable called long attribute. And we're going to populate that variable using the get attribute command. This is an inbuilt command to PowerBasic designed to pick up the attribute of any file. It takes a single parameter, which is the path and the name of the file we wish to query. As you will see from the help file, the attribute is picking up basically a number. Normal files will return the attribute of 0. If the file is both normal and read-only, it will return a 1. It could also be read-only and hidden, or possibly even a system file. So in order to determine which of these attributes are valid, we need to put a little bit of code in to work out what we're looking for. And specifically here wanting to know if the file is read-only or not. We can determine that quite easily by doing an attribute and 1. If this is 1, then the file is read-only. If it is not, then the file is not read-only. So if we try running that code now, it will tell us that the file is not read-only, which we can confirm by right-clicking and looking at the properties of the file. The read-only checkbox is not ticked. As well as reading the attributes of a file, we can also set the attributes of a file. We're now going to set the attribute of this file to be read-only. This can be quite easily done using the set attribute command, which takes the parameters of the path and the name of the file and the attribute or attributes you wish to set. In this case, we're just looking to set it as read-only. We can then use exactly the command we used before to determine whether the file is read-only or not. So the code as we have it now will first of all check to see what attribute we have set on our file. Then it will use the set attribute command to change the attribute to read-only, and then we will reread the attributes on the file to see whether the file has successfully been made read-only or not. If we run our code now, we'll see that the file is saying it is now read-only. We can confirm this by looking at Explorer, right-clicking, picking the properties, and we'll see that the tick box for read-only has now been ticked. If we attempt to run our application again, we will see we'll get different messages. The destination file cannot be wiped. We're getting a permission denied. The reason we're getting permission denied is that the file has been marked as read-only, and it will not let you delete a file that is read-only. We are also unable to copy the file because the file itself is read-only. So you'll find the get attribute and set attribute commands are very useful, both to determine if a file is read-only and to set files as read-only. So in summary, what we have done today is we have created a file, we've tested for the presence of the file using the isFile function, we've tested for the presence of a folder using the isFolder function. We've used the mkdir command to create a new subfolder. We've also used the kill command to kill off files, and the file copy command to copy a file from one location to another. And finally, we've used the get attribute and set attribute commands to determine what attributes exist on a file, enabling us to set files as read-only or to clear the read-only flag. Hopefully you'll find this code useful in your applications, but that's it for today. Thank you for watching.